Diwali, we have a special class today by His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. So we welcome His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami Maharaj for our special Diwali class for extra mercy from Maharaj today. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Balava Giri Bharadhare Gopi Jana Balava Giri Bharadhare Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachare Yamunatira Vanachare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Balava Giri Bharadhare Gopi Jana Balava Giri Bharadhare Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachare Yamunatira Vanachare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Janishbad Paramahansa Paragrajak Charis Status Samad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki, Shri Diwali Mahotsava Ki, Gaur Premanande, all glories to their Samal devotees, all glories to their Samal devotees, all glories to their Samal devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes, so today, according to our Vaishnav calendar, is Diwali. I know, well, judging by all the firecrackers I heard last night, some people were thinking yesterday was Diwali. But let me just tell you very briefly what the situation is. You'll find that occasionally, or however often, maybe fairly often, we celebrate certain events like this one day later, and people I'm sure many people do wonder why is it. Seems a little strange. But actually, you know what the situation is? Is that about every 100 years, the calendar, the basic sort of underlying formula of the lunar calendar has to be recalculated, because the planets move, more than, like, over the period of 100 years. They move, and the positions become inaccurate. So, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Prabhupada's spiritual master, he was a very prominent astronomer, and he noted that around the end of his life, towards the end of his life or later part, that recalculation was done by people like himself and other, sort of technically expert astronomers. But many of the sort of ordinary, everyday astronomers, they didn't recalculate. They just kept things the way they were, which now means that they're inaccurate generally by a day. Which means, for example, if they say that Ekadasi is on, the day before we observe Ekadasi, then when they're observing Ekadasi, it's not Ekadasi. It's Dasami, it's the 10th day. And therefore, because they're not observing Ekadasi properly, well, on the actual day, they'll get some bad reactions for that. So anyway, that in very simple terms, that's why we're celebrating today, as opposed to so many others who celebrated yesterday. Let's just see how many crackers they set off tonight, and then we'll see. I don't think there'll be so many. So, but Diwali, the occasion is, well, there are 3 events, actually, important events, which took place on this day. One was the return of Lord Ram. And that's what we're going to focus on. So that was one. Another one, and also very important, this is the Diwali day is the day that the Damodar Leela actually occurred. It was on the Diwali day, the day of Mother Yashoda tying up Krishna and all those things. That happened on the Diwali day. And the third thing is, on the Diwali day, Lord Krishna killed Narakasura, very famous demon. Yeah. Who, it's a bit of a long story, but he was the son, Narakasura was the son of Bhumi, Mother Earth, and, would you believe, Lord Varaha. Narakasura was their son. And, of course, having parents like that, what can you say? He was a great devotee, or something like a great devotee to start off with, but he got into bad association with, I forget exactly who it was, but one like really serious and very powerful demon. And so he became a demon. And Narak Asura, literally, Asura of course means demon. Narak means hell. So Narak Asura means demon from hell. How's that for a name? How'd you like to have to introduce yourself? What's your name? Oh yeah, my name is Demon from Hell, actually. Oh, that's interesting. How'd you get a name like that? So yes, so you'll see if you read the Bhagavatam, I think many of you have sets of Bhagavatam, but they are not simply, what people might call eye candy to look at on your bookshelf. They're meant to be resources to read. So in the 10th canto, you'll see in that story that when Lord Krishna went to kill Narakasura, he took with him Rukmini, because Bhumi is expanded from Rukmini, and Bhumi told Krishna that if you ever are going to kill my son, you must ask my permission. If I don't give permission, you can't do it. So, she was expanded from Rukmini. Therefore, Krishna took Rukmini, and when he was about to kill, or in a position to kill Narakasura, he turned around and asked, "Is it all right if I kill him?" And she said, "Yes, you can kill him." So that's all a bit by the way. Let us focus on what we are focusing on, and that is the return of Lord Ram. And we'll read a few verses and sort of building up to his return and being instated as the king. So first of all, this is now Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, verse 32. Yes, you also may have noticed we don't really officially utilize Ramayana, although some of our devotees, a number of our devotees have done versions that they're all like abridged one-volume versions, whereas Ramayana is about 25,000 verses. Means it's almost double the size of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I think you know how big Srimad Bhagavatam is physically. Yeah, so it's a big book. But they condense it into, whatever, a few hundred pages or so. So we refer to this 10th chapter of the 9th canto and the 11th chapter, both of them, but particularly the 10th, because we know that the information here is accurate, whereas the other versions of Ramayana, they have different, like just as an example, Lord Ram crossing over to Lanka. There's the version that he performed some sort of puja or something like that to Lord Shiva, but that's not there in every version of Ramayana. It's there in some, it's not there in others. So, so who knows? It's too late now. We're a few thousand years too late to really ask, hey, no, what happened? Well, it was actually this. It's a few thousand years too late. But Srimad Bhagavatam, we know, is completely accurate. It is one of the Vedic literatures which survived the Muslim invasion pretty much unscathed, whereas so many others, Rig Veda and so many others, they were either totally destroyed or partially destroyed. So here we go, devotees. Canto 9, Chapter 10, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, verse 32. Aropya ruruheyanam ratribhyam hanumadyuta vibhishanaya bhagavan datvaraksho ganeshatam lankam ayush chakalpantam yayo chirna vrata purim. Translation: after giving Vibhishan the power to rule the Rakshasa population of Lanka for the duration of one kalpa, Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, placed Sita Devi on an airplane decorated with flowers, and then got on the plane himself. The period for his living in the forest having ended, the Lord returned to Ayodhya, accompanied by Hanuman, Sugriva, and his brother Lakshman. So I'll just read the translations for some number of verses which are describing his return, or their return. When Lord Ramachandra returned to his capital Ayodhya, he was greeted on the road by the princely order, who showered his body with beautiful fragrant flowers, while great personalities like Lord Brahma and other demigods glorified the activities of the Lord in great jubilation. 34. Upon reaching Ayodhya, Lord Ramachandra heard that in his absence, his brother Bharat was eating barley cooked in the urine of a cow, covering his body with the bark of trees, wearing matted locks of hair, and lying on a mattress of kusha, means grass. The most merciful Lord very much lamented this. You know, in Ayodhya, if you've been there, it's worth going there, by the way, if you haven't been there, sure. It's really quite amazing. So that place where Bharat had been living is like a small village now, with a number of temples. The place where he lived, there's sort of a cave where he lived, and different other places where things happened. And there is a lake. It's big. I mean, it's big. It's probably 5 acres, or I don't know, something along those lines, of lotuses, just full of lotuses. Big lake. We were there in September, I think. So, right, we continue, verses 35 to 38. When Lord Bharat understood that Lord Ramachandra was returning to the capital, Ayodhya, he immediately took upon his own head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes and came out from his camp at Nandigram. That's the name of the place. If you ever go to Ayodhya, at least one day make a point of going to Nandigram, not Nandagram, like in the Vrindavan area, but Nandigram. And that's where that little village is, and it's really nice, really nice. Lord Bharat was accompanied by ministers, priests, and other respectable citizens, by professional musicians vibrating pleasing musical sounds, and by learned Brahmins loudly chanting Vedic hymns. Following in the procession were chariots drawn by beautiful horses with harnesses of golden rope. These chariots were decorated by flags with golden embroidery and by other flags of various sizes and patterns. There were soldiers bedecked with golden armor, servants bearing betel nut, and many, fasten your seatbelts. You're all sitting down. You should make sure you're sitting down. And where are we? Bearing betel nuts, and many well-known and beautiful prostitutes. Hare Krishna. Many servants followed on foot, bearing an umbrella, whisks, different grades of precious jewels, and other paraphernalia befitting a royal reception. Accompanied in this way Lord Bharat, his heart softened in ecstasy and his eyes full of tears, approached Lord Ramachandra and fell at his lotus feet with great ecstatic love. What's this now? 39 to 40. After offering the wooden shoes before Lord Ramachandra, Lord Bharat stood with folded hands, his eyes full of tears, and Lord Ramachandra bathed Bharat with tears while embracing him with both arms for a long time. Accompanied by Mother Sita and Lakshman, Lord Ramachandra then offered his respectful obeisances unto the learned Brahmins and the elderly persons in the family, and all the citizens of Ayodhya offered their respectful obeisances unto the Lord. 41. The citizens of Ayodhya, upon seeing their king return after a long absence, offered him flower garlands, waved their upper cloths, and danced in great jubilation. O king, this is Shukadev Goswami speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. So he says, O king, Lord Bharat carried Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes. Sugriva and Vibhishan carried a whisk, means a chamara, and an excellent fan. Hanuman carried a white umbrella. White umbrella is used traditionally for royalty, like from the sun, to protect from the sun, but white. Only the royalty would use white umbrellas. Shatrughna carried a bow and 2 quivers, and Sita Devi carried a water pot filled with water from holy places. Angada carried a sword, and Jambavan, king of the rikshas, carried a golden shield. Rikshas means the bears. 44. O King Parikshit, as the Lord sat on his airplane of flowers, with women offering him prayers, and reciters chanting about his characteristics, he appeared like the moon with the stars and planets. Verses 45 and 46. Thereafter, having been welcomed by his brother Bharat, Lord Ramachandra entered the city of Ayodhya in the midst of a festival. When he entered the palace, he offered obeisances to all the mothers, including Kaikeyi and the other wives of Maharaj Dasarath, and especially his own mother, Kaushalya. He also offered obeisances to the spiritual preceptors, such as Vasishta. Friends of his own age and younger friends worshipped him, and he returned their respectful obeisances, as did Lakshman and Mother Sita. In this way, they all entered the palace. 47. Upon seeing their sons, the mothers of Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna immediately arose, like unconscious bodies returning to consciousness. The mothers placed their sons on their laps and bathed them with tears, thus relieving themselves of the grief of long separation. 48. The family priest or spiritual master, Vasishta, had Lord Ramachandra cleanly shaved, freeing him from his matted locks of hair. Then, with the cooperation of the elderly members of the family, he performed the bathing ceremony, Abhishek, for Lord Ramachandra with the water of the 4 seas and with other substances, just as it was performed for King Indra. 49. Lord Ramachandra, fully bathed and his head clean shaven, dressed himself very nicely and was decorated with a garland and ornaments. Thus he shone brightly, surrounded by his brothers and wife, who were similarly dressed and ornamented. 50. Being pleased by the full surrender and submission of Lord Bharat, Lord Ramachandra then accepted the throne of the state. He cared for the citizens exactly like a father, and the citizens, being fully engaged in their occupational duties of Varna and Ashram, accepted him as their father. 51. Lord Ramachandra became king during Treta Yuga, but because of his good government, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy. 52. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharat dynasty, during the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the forests, the rivers, the hills and mountains, the states, the 7 islands and the 7 seas were all favorable in supplying the necessities of life for all living beings. 53. When Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of this world. All bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear, and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who did not want it. Isn't that amazing? That is really amazing. It's totally superhuman. And you can imagine, I'm sure, some just ordinary people, materialists, who are caught up in their lives, working and all that. They would find this a bit too much. They wouldn't be able to say, wow, that's great, like the devotees generally do. But they would say, no. Yeah. But we accept it as being completely accurate. And Srila Prabhupada gives a short purport. I mean, there have been purports which I've skipped over, but here's a short purport I'll read. All these facilities existed because of Lord Ramachandra's presence as the king of the entire world. A similar situation could be introduced immediately, even in this age called Kali, the worst of all ages. It is said, Kali Kale, Nama Rupe, Krishna Avatar. Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, you know, all Prabhupada said was Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. But, you know, it's okay. We can chant the whole mantra. If we chant offenselessly, Rama and Krishna are still present in this age. The kingdom of Ram was immensely popular and beneficial. And the spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation, even in this Kali Yuga. You gave class on Sunday, right? Did you read these verses? Oh. Okay. So anyway, it's very significant. This verse is just, truly, really amazing. And Srila Prabhupada's purport is also really amazing. That if the condition we must meet in order to achieve this result is if we chant offenselessly, Ram and Krishna are still present in this age. Yeah, the kingdom of Ram was immensely popular and beneficial, and the spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation, even in this Kali Yuga. So the thing is, well, that's true. Srila Prabhupada would not lie to us. There was one famous incident with Mother Malati. Some of you might have heard because she was here some years ago, and I'm sure she talked about it. Malati said to Prabhupada that, Srila Prabhupada, you've said that if we just chant 16 rounds, follow the regulative principles, and do some service, like every day, then we can go back to Godhead. But then she said, but it sounds too easy. Is it really that easy? How could it be so easy? And Srila Prabhupada, the master of, giving appropriate answers and saying appropriate things whenever they were required, Srila Prabhupada didn't get into some explanation like, well, it's like this and that and something else. Prabhupada, you know what his answer was? Do you think that I would cheat you? It's a pretty good answer, really. And the answer, of course, is definitely not. So, yes, there's great potency in the names. Krishna, Rama. There's great potency. Why is there great potency? How is it? Because Krishna and Ram, they are present in the names. Fully present. Fully present. And even Prabhupada would say sometimes that when you chant, if you chant nicely, then Krishna will dance on your tongue. And when you become sort of advanced enough, like really quite advanced, then you'll see Krishna in the sound vibration. That's very advanced. I don't think any of us are on that level yet. Are we? Anyone on that level? Not yet. Still working on it. Anyway, so, yeah. But the thing is, we have to chant offenselessly. That means none of the 10 offenses. And of course, we should all know what are the 10 offenses. Otherwise, we won't know what to not do. Sometimes when devotees are initiated, like for first initiation, we are meant to recite the 10 offenses. But sometimes we ask the candidates, please tell me what is offense number 1, number 2, and so on through all the offenses. And sometimes we ask someone, okay, what is the 5th offense? And stunned sort of expression, because they don't actually know what are the 10 offenses. But we need to know them. And then, of course, it's also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. So we have to really avoid those 10 offenses. Not that we should meditate on the offenses, but what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends is that we make a point of doing the opposite. First offense, blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy names of the Lord. So not that we just meditate that, yes, I must not blaspheme the devotees, I must not criticize the devotees, but rather we just do the opposite. We just glorify the devotees. And that's what we do. Just appreciate the devotees. And so on and so forth for all the 10 offenses. Plus, it's also an offense to be inattentive. So what do we do there? We're just very attentive. Make a point of just being as attentive as humanly possible, you could say. So the thing is that if enough of us meaning the devotees, if enough of us really make such efforts, then it will be possible for the world situation to be changed. Actually, the world situation has changed for the better in certain respects. But then, of course, it's Kali Yuga and, it's not easy. But so many more people are now vegetarian than, 50 years ago. So many more. Back in those days, many people didn't know what it meant to be vegetarian. They didn't even really know the word. It wasn't really in their vocabulary. But now, so many people are vegetarian. And generally, at least in so many parts of the world, at least everyone knows what what it means. So the situation has improved. It's definitely improved. Even Mr. Putin, who could easily be criticized, but we will not get into it, he was once at a state dinner for the Prime Minister of India of that time, not Mr. Modi, but before. And some devotees were invited. And Mr. Putin, seeing the devotees when the liquor was being served out, the wine, because it's a dinner, the wine, and for the traditional Russians, the vodka. They don't pronounce it vodka, they pronounce it vodka. So he refused, and he asked for some juice. And he said, well, in Russia, devotees, Hare Krishna devotees, are called Krishnites. That's the term. So he refused the vodka, and he said, no, I am Krishnite. And Queen Elizabeth, she attended the Arti ceremony and in one of our schools in London. And yeah, these people, their lives have been impacted. So, if we really carry on, we have to really carry on and not rest on our laurels, but really try to intensify the spreading, and then the effect will become greater and greater. And during the course of our lives, or at least some of you younger ones of your lives, there may be great transformations in the world. But having said that, at least if we really do that, and as much as we're able, get our, people in our circle, particularly our family members, get them to become devotees, in a nice way, then, and they really do try and become serious about it, then at the very least, within our circle or our family, there'll be major positive transformations. No doubt at all. And you'll see it vividly in front of your eyes. And even if your other family members aren't interested, if you just do it, really take it seriously, then you will see your life transforming tremendously. So, like that, it's a matter, you could say, of scale or something like that. Yeah, it depends on us, first and foremost, and then it depends on how much we can influence our circle and the people in general. Yes, so there's another 2 verses here. Let me do a time check. Oh, okay. Let me read the last 2 verses in the chapter 54 and 55. They are describing, 54 is describing Lord Ram and his relationship with Mother Sita, and 55 is describing Mother Sita and her relationship with Lord Ram. They're very interesting and important. 54, Ekapatni Vrata Doro, Rajarshi Charita Shuchi, Swadharmam Griha Mediyam, Shikshayan Swayam Acharat. Translation: Lord Ramachandra took a vow to accept only one wife and have no connection with any other women. He was a saintly king, and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like anger. He taught good behavior for everyone, especially for householders, in terms of Varnashram Dharma. Thus he taught the general public by his personal activities. And let us read this purport also. Ekapatni Vrata, accepting only one wife, was the glorious example set by Lord Ramachandra. One should not accept more than one wife. In those days, of course, people did marry more than one wife. Even Lord Ramachandra's father accepted more wives than one, 3 in fact. But Lord Ramachandra, as an ideal king, accepted only one wife, Mother Sita. When Mother Sita was kidnapped by Ravana and the Rakshasas, Lord Ramachandra, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could have married hundreds and thousands of Sitas. But to teach us how faithful he was to his wife, he fought with Ravana and finally killed him. The Lord punished Ravana and rescued his wife to instruct men to have only one wife. Lord Ramachandra accepted only one wife and manifested sublime character, thus setting an example for householders. A householder should live according to the ideal of Lord Ramachandra, who showed how to be a perfect person. Being a householder or living with a wife and children is never condemned, provided one lives according to the regulative principles of Varnashram Dharma. Those who live in accordance with these principles, whether as householders, brahmacharis, or vanaprasthas, are all equally important. And just a few words about that is that Lord Ram, of course, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when Sita was kidnapped, there's a number of ways he could have dealt with the situation. One mentioned here is he could just have manifested not just a replacement Sita, but 100 or 1,000 or any number, just literally like that. But he didn't, because he wanted to show that for a husband, it is of just extreme importance. It's just essential to actually look after your wife, sort of, so to speak, come hell or high water, or some great drama like what happened with the also within Ravana. Ravana also had a heart, the organ within his body, and you must know that within your heart, within your body, by your heart, there is an on-off switch. You know, like with lights, on, off, that whole thing, we all know about that. So by your heart, and by Ravana's heart, there was an on-off switch. It had been on for however long. Lord Ram was right there. He could have just leant over, not even leant, just, switched it off, and that would have been it. Goodbye, Ravana. Really, just like that. Literally, actually. And along with that, or alternatively perhaps, he could have just grabbed Sita and just zipped over, zipped away, and she was rescued, and that's all, would have been all. Or when she was kidnapped, not that he didn't know what's going on, like, Oh, really? She was kidnapped. Gee whiz. Well, he knows what's going on in every atom of existence. He could have just intervened and killed Ravana on the spot. That would have been that finished. But anyway, he didn't. He undertook this major military operation and just, wow, so many died. And it went on for days. And even Lakshman apparently almost died. And it was just great drama for those days. But the end result was just rescue Sita, that's all. If Ravana had said, well, look, okay, you take Sita, that would have been the end. And Ram would not have pursued Ravana any further. He would have just taken Sita back, and that would have been that. So, but why did he do all of that? Well, Prabhupada is explaining it. It's the same principle. He wanted to show the ordinary men particularly, and the ordinary ladies too, what a husband, or particularly for him, what he is ready to do for his devotee. And what husbands should be ready to do to look after their wives. So like this, as Prabhupada said, Lord Ramachandra accepted only one wife and manifested sublime character, thus setting an example for householders. And verse 55, Prem nanuvritya shilena prashraya vanata sati vyahriya chabhavagya bhartu sita haran mana. Mother Sita was very submissive, faithful, shy, and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of the Lord. And Prabhupada's purport, as Lord Ramachandra is the ideal husband, Ekapatni Vrata, Mother Sita is the ideal wife. Such a combination makes family life very happy. Yad yad acharti shrestas, tat tade eve tarojana. Whatever example a great man sets, common people follow. If the kings, the leaders, and the Brahmins, the teachers, would set forth the examples we receive from Vedic literature, the entire world would be heaven. Indeed, there would no longer be hellish conditions within this material world. That's the end of that chapter. And isn't it just, this is amazing, isn't it? It really is. Now, of course, Mother Sita, she was fortunate because she had as her husband Lord Ram. And it's a lot easier to appreciate Lord Ram than it is, your average run-of-the-mill, with all due respect, husbands. I know many of them try their best. Some of them, Anyway, everyone has their ups and downs. So some husbands may not be so inspiring or exemplary, etc. Doesn't mean that the wives should not try to be exemplary. Actually, they should. And if they are able to do that, then at least if the husband is a devotee or, something of a devotee, then he'll see, gosh, look at my wife. This is amazing. So anyway, there's some food for thought for all of you. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama.
His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you, Maharaj, for for wonderful class and your warm association as always. Devotees, very quickly, tomorrow we have the opportunity again to have Maharaj's association at Govardhan Puja, including Parikram with Maharaj as well. Giri Govardhan ki jai. His Holiness Bhakti Caitanya Swami Maharaj ki jai. So devotees, now will rise to observe Gaura Arti. After that, we'll sing the Damodar Ashtakam, and then we'll have the opportunity to offer our lamps. Happy Diwali once again, and thank you for attending today's very special Diwali program. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arti Kushobha. Janavi Tatavane Jagamana Loba Dakinanitai Cha Baume Gadadara Nikate Advaita Srini वासचत्रदारा वसीयचे गोरचान रत्नसिंहसान आरती कोरिन ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गाने नरा हरि आदि कोरी चामरा दुलाया संजया मुकुंद बासु गोसादि गाया शंका बजे घंटा बाजे बाजे कारताला माधुरा मृदंग बाजे पारमार साला शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय बाहो कोटि चंद्रजिनी वदन उज्ज्वला गलरे से बनमाला Kore Jalamala Shiva Sukha Narada Preme Gadaka Bhakti Vinodade Gaurara Sampada Jaya Jaya Gauracha Arti ko shobha Janavitatawane Jagamanaloba Korange Aroti ko shobha Jagajanamana-loba Gorange Aroti ko shobha Jagajanamana-loba Gorange Aroti ko shobha Jagajanamana-loba 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 Gorange Arati ko shobha Jagajanamana-loba Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Radha, Radhanath Radha, Radhanath Radhe. Jaya Radha, Radhanath Radha, Radhanath Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Ayodhya Vasi Ram, Ram Ram, Dasarath Nandan Ram. Ayodhya Vasi Ram, Ram Ram, Dasarath Nandan Ram. दशरथ नंदन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajak Charis Tadus Samad. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem Sigahasa Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Sham Kund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Dham ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Shri Ayodhya Dham ki, Shri Ayodhya Dham ki, Go Premanande, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki. Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I don't need it. Namaste Narasingaya. Pralada Lada Dayane. Hiranyakashipu Bhaksha Silatam Kanakalaye Eton Resinga Paraton Resinga Yato Yato Yamitaton Resinga Pahen Resinga Hridayen Resinga Narasinghamadem Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamat Bhutasringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Ropa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Akesavadrita Narahari Ropa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Nrsingadev, Jai Nrsingadev, Nrsingadev, Jai Nrsingadev. Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Shri Nrsingadev Bhagavan ke, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ke, Srila Prabhupada ke. Go Premanande!
Shri Shri Ashara Damodar ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. Namamishwaram Sachit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. 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 Yashoda Biyolukala Dhavamanam Paramishtamadhyam Tatajutya Gopyam. Yashoda Biyolukala Dhavamanam Paramishtamadhyam Tatajutya Gopyam. Namamishwaram Sa Chiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Namamishwaram Sa Chiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yashoda Biyolukala Dhavamanam Paramishtamadhyam Tatajutya Gopyam. Yashoda Biyolukala Dhavamanam Paramishtamadhyam Tatajutya Gopyam. Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmamrijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram. Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmamrijantam Karamboja Yugmena Satanka Netram. Muhushvasakam Patri Rekankakanta Sitageva Damodaram Bhakti Badam. Muhushvasakam Patri Rekankakanta Sitageva Damodaram Bhakti Badam. Namamishwaram Sachiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Namamishwaram Sachiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yashoda Biyolukala Dhavamanam Paramishtamadhyam Tatajutya Gopyam. Yashoda Biyolukala Dhavamanam Paramishtamadhyam Tatajutya Gopyam. Iti Drikshva Lilabir Ananda Kunde Swaghosham Nimajyantam Akyapayantam. Sareshitagneshu bhaktejitatvam Punaprematashtam Shatavritti Vande. Sareshitagneshu bhaktejitatvam Punaprematashtam Shatavritti Vande. Namamishwaram Sachiranandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Varam Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadim vanachanyam vrineham vareshadapiha. Iram deva purnata gopal balam sarame manashya virashtam kimanye. Namamishwaram sachiranandarupam lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Te mukkam bojam atyanta nile ritam kuntala snigdha raktasra gopya. Idam te mukkam bojam atyanta nile ritam kuntala snigdha raktasra gopya. Musjambitam bimbaratadaram Manashya virashtam balam lakshalabai. Namamishwaram sachiranandarupam lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Yasharabiyo lukadavamanam paramishtamatyan tattajutya gopya. Namadeva Damodara Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhuduka Jalabdimagnam. Damodara Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhuduka Jalabdimagnam. Kripadrasti Prashyoti Dinam Batanu Grihaneshamam Agyamedi Akshidresha. Namamishwaram sachiranandarupam lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Yasharabiyo lukaladavamanam paramishtamatyan tattajutya gopya. Kuberatmajo badha murtyaiva yadva tvayamochito bhakti bajo krito cha. Tata prema bhaktim shakame prayacha namokshe gaho mesti damodareha. Namamishwaram sachiranandarupam lasat kundalam gokule brajamanam. Yasharabiyo lukaladavamanam paramishtamatyan tattajutya gopya. Namaste Sudamne Sporatipti Damne Twadiyodara Yata Vishwasya Damne Namaradikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namananta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyolukala Paramishtamatyan Tatajutya Gopya Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara Radhe. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Girish Govardhana Hari ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande.